Hi, thank you for clicking on the video, and I hope everyone is doing really well. So recently I was thinking that I want to not do so many reaction videos to Freelee because I feel like I need to mix it up. But then Freelee did a reaction video to Stephanie Buttermore, and I can't resist. And since then, she's done a second video on Stephanie Buttermore. So I think those two are going to be my last Freelee videos for a while. So I am searching for other videos to react to, looking for people that preach a message that is misinformed, problematic, and that can be dangerous and detrimental to people struggling with EDs and people who are going through recovery from EDs, as well as recovery from other health issues. Let's get into Stephanie Buttermore, what I eat in a day, still restricting, still clueless in 2021. Let's get into it.
Today's video is actually on Stephanie Buttermore. It is a response to her What I Eat in a Day. She just posted it 3rd of July, not too long ago, and we are going to respond to it. And remember, Stephanie Buttermore is a cancer researcher, or previously she was a cancer researcher, epidemiologist, specializing, I believe, in ovarian cancer. All right, so she should know about what's healthy to eat, right? But let's see what she is eating as a cancer epidemiologist, a cancer researcher, who should really know her stuff, right? She really should know her stuff. So this is on Instagram, and we already have a rundown of what she's eating here, and oh dear. All right, let's go. And there's no sound to this video. What I eat in a day, Stephanie Buttermore. Oh. All right, so we have cake. Breakfast is cake pop protein. That is just completely unnecessary that she is loading up on protein. This feels very bodybuilder, very gym rat to start off with, because she is dating a gym rat and she is essentially a gym rat herself.
The first thing I want to talk about is a criticism of Freelee and her opinion that when a female is dating a male, somehow that male has a full influence over what that female eats. Every single time she sees a woman eating in a way that she doesn't approve of, she places the reason the woman is eating like that is because of her gym bro boyfriend or partner. I don't know if she knows this. Women are able to make their own dietary decisions without the consultation of a man. Some women enjoy eating in a gym bro style, and it has nothing to do with the person they are in a relationship with. If Freelee were to look at how I eat, who would she point blame to for the fact that I eat in a gym bro kind of way? I don't have a partner, and when I did, he didn't go to the gym and he didn't eat like me. I chose to eat this way on my own because I actually can make decisions for myself and I don't need a man to decide for me and tell me how to eat. So it's been very frustrating. Every single video she makes on a female fitness influencer who chooses to eat in a way, she's like, oh, it's because of the man. It's the man's fault that the woman isn't eating like a frugivore. And also Stephanie Buttermore's boyfriend, try saying that 20 times fast, he, yes, works out. She, yes, works out. I believe she chose to start working out before she started dating him. He also is a very science-based individual. So he is also very knowledgeable, just like Stephanie.
And I come from that past, so this is very, very standard in that way to, add this powdered wartime protein.
Even though technically we are still living in war times, she is referencing like 1940s war times. I don't think people going through those wars were supplementing with protein powder.
It's just like a waste product from the dairy industry, essentially. So she's adding that to oatmeal, which is great. Oatmeal is plant-based, so I am supportive of that. It's nowhere near as good as having like a fruit smoothie bowl, like having just a whole fruit for breakfast.
It's plant-based, but not good enough. And you don't know, Stephanie could be using plant-based protein powder. You don't know that. I know in past videos she has. Is it still not good enough because it's a protein powder? And apparently, according to Freelee, protein is unnecessary. I'm not really sure what like the stipulations of what's acceptable or what's acceptable because it's plant-based, according to Freelee. It's all very confusing. It changes.
Like the frugivore should. It's very wartime in that way of, it's oatmeal. It's something that soldiers would have taken to war that lasts many, many years. So it's unnecessary for us to be eating, so old-time stuff like that when we've got fresh all around us. Top with a banana. That's great. I'm glad to see that there is a banana in there. But, she'd be better off having 8 bananas. And some of you might be like, oh, that's too much. No, it's not too much.
Actually, 8 bananas, depending on the individual, is too much. In fact, for me, 1 banana is too much because I'm allergic. Freelee thinks that you can take dietary protocol and apply it to everyone because apparently all our bodies are the same, except for the fact that I'm allergic to bananas, yet she thinks I should be eating 8 a day.
You are a human frugivore, so you need to eat the majority of your calories from fruit, and that's how much it takes. Honestly, to have a satisfying breakfast with enough calories, around 800 calories, 1,000 calories, that's really what you should be aiming for. Have a big, hearty, satisfying breakfast so then you don't go to crap later on, right?
Freelee seems to also think that she can determine for other people what's satisfying. So yesterday, my mom and I were just hanging out talking, and there was a big bowl of cherries in front of us. And we were snacking on the cherries, and I could have eaten more cherries, but there were crackers and these like walnut pistachio snacky things. Those were the foods that actually filled me up. Those were the foods that after eating a few of that's when I thought, you know what? I've had enough. I'm satisfied. I'm full. It was not the cherries. I could have eaten that whole bowl of cherries if it was just the cherries, and I probably still would have wanted that salty, nutty snack. It wasn't the cherries that satisfied me. No, it was the pistachios and walnuts and these crackers that were so good. She cannot tell you what is satisfactory for you.
So this is topped with banana, PB, so peanut butter, which, look, if you're going to have peanut butter, which I don't recommend, have the organic one for sure, because the glyphosates is a real risk, this systemic herbicide that Monsanto was pushing on us. They're using it a lot to finish grains. It's used, and then it can be stored in our body and cause all sorts of issues, related to cancer as well. So be careful, be careful. I just recommend you, if you really want to have peanuts and have like crushed up peanuts, that's going to be better. Cashew milk, great. Cashew milk is, fantastic because it doesn't hurt mama cow or baby cow, and it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't grow you rapidly like a baby cow. So, okay, not terrible, but the cake pop protein, I believe, has artificial sweetener. It's just crap. It's just rubbish. Leave the powders out. Yeah, it's very like gym rat style.
So what? She's eating what she likes. When I was going through things a long time ago, I used to eat pudding for breakfast sometimes, and my mom did not care. She would let me eat ice cream for breakfast if it meant I was eating. If a person is eating nutritionally dense food, well, not according to Freelee because it's not fruit, but in reality and according to science, it's nutritionally dense food. The person is eating that, enjoys it. I'm of the mindset, like, yay, they're eating. That's good. They're getting nutrition. They're eating things that taste good to them. These are good things. Freelee just can't seem to see the good things.
Oh, okay. Turkey. Wow, she's still on the turkey kick. She's still eating dead bird muscle tissue and thinking it's healthy. Yikes, that's all I can say. Yikes. And she's got the wartime, the beige bread.
What would you want? What do you want? Pink bread? The first thing you think when you see food is, does that look good? A whole plate of the same color, beige, brown, can be kind of depressing. This is just one element on the plate. There is color, there is excitement. She's grasping for insults, not grasping for facts. Well, she's also grasping for facts because they're out of reach because she doesn't know the actual facts. But she's like trying to find some way to insult rather than speak intelligently, factual.
It's whole grain bread. It is better, but it's highly, highly processed. You don't need to eat this. You know what I mean? I know that people want to sandwich their muscle tissue in something because carbohydrates, because it's not satisfying otherwise. But there are other things that you can do, okay? You don't have to eat a whole lot of bread, but look, at the same time it is plant-based, so I am supportive. Okay, so she has solidified bovine secretion. These are cancer-causing foods, okay? turkey is, packed with IGF-1, which is insulin growth factor 1, which is a hormone basically that is going to cause you to rapidly multiply cancer cells in your body. Okay, this animal protein is not good for human frugivores, all right? Just we need to get this through. Like, people eating a low protein intake, it's associated with a reduction in IGF-1, which is great. That's what we want, right? We don't want to be having this cancer-promoting hormone.
The only reason that a lower protein diet decreases the growth of cancerous cells is if the person decreases the amount of protein that is sourced from animals. It is not the case for plant-based protein sources. She's saying protein generalized, not specifying animal protein.
Soy potatoes, that's great. Oh wow, that is a lot of muscle tissue, processed muscle tissue there.
It's really not.
It really shocks me that she really doesn't seem to have learnt much at all. And she's meant to be this cancer expert, researcher, ovarian cancer.
She did do cancer research for her PhD program. She did do that. She's not an expert and never claimed to be an expert. She's educated. There's a difference between being an expert and being educated on a subject.
It's very, very disappointing that she's putting out this message to her audience, which is not only cruel to animals, right? But it's also cruel to humans. And those frugivores watching her, those women around the world watching her.
Humans are not frugivores. We're simply human.
Are now going to emulate what she does, and then they're going to also ingest this excess of protein, and particularly animal protein, in their body, and initiate that cancer process and a whole host of other issues, right? Heart disease, gout, diabetes, which you don't want to experience and you don't have to experience.
This implies that by eating turkey, you will develop cancer. That's not how it works. I even learned this from What the Health, a vegan propaganda documentary. We're born with cancerous cells. Those cells are dormant. It's through different factors, one being, one of many, but one being diet, can awaken those cancerous cells and feed them. That's how cancer grows within us. It's not you eat animal byproducts and suddenly you have cancer. The cancer doesn't come from what you put in your mouth. That's not factual. And I even learned this from a vegan documentary. And here she is twisting the truth.
Right? And she's got that hard cheese, disgusting stuff. It's really pussy, cheesy, ugh. It is not healthy, and she's great to see potatoes though and some sauce. Just have the potatoes and have a salad. Just whack in more potatoes. Have big sweet potatoes there, and have the avocado. And there's no need to have all this flesh. Ugh. Leave, Stephanie. I'm telling you, face to face right now, you and me, leave the animals alone. Stop sawing off their muscle tissue and consuming it. It's weird as a frugivore to do that. It's weird, sick, sad, disturbing, and it's going to make you sick long term.
Good thing we're not frugivores then.
Oh, we get some vitamin C. Finally, vitamin C enters the chat, right? We did have some banana, which was great, but okay, there's a single kiwi and she's having some low sugar, you know what I mean? Like they all see them as low carb berries, low sugar, that's why they have them.
Couldn't it possibly be that she just likes raspberries and blackberries? Could that be an option? Because I personally, if I'm going to eat fruit, my brain directs me towards certain fruits. Berries are some of those fruits that my brain initially directs me to, because I know I like them and they're easy to eat. The conversation in my brain does not include which of the fruits is low carb. And the fact that Freelee always points that out when the influencer or the person whose diet she's reviewing eats berries, it's interesting that that's where her mind initially goes. It's almost like she's trying to project some sort of internalized problem onto other people. They must be eating that fruit because of X, Y, and Z, not they're eating fruit.
She's obviously scared of fruit. She's scared of sugar.
She's scared of fruit, yet she's eating a bowl full. She's scared of fruit, yet she put a banana on her breakfast. People don't do things if they're really scared of it.
Never restrict your fruit intake. It will not make you leaner and healthier and happier long term. Please continue to focus on getting healthier, fitter, and happier, and your body will transform in time to its happy place. For some of you, it will take longer than it will take for others, like it did for me. It took a long time, but it's because I was coming from serious abuse to my body. So you need to take that into account. You need to take responsibility for that. You need to embrace the healing.
She was coming from a place where she was abusing her body. Okay, you just traded one abuse for another and then committed to making your whole identity that behavior.
And be patient. So if you've had a positive experience on Raw Till 4, whether it be, your skin's got better, your health's got better, weight loss results, anything like that, leave it in the comments below so we can inspire others to jump on this lifestyle. So my ultimate goal for promoting this lifestyle is to make the planet a happy, healthy, vegan planet. Okay, to see animals survive, to see the planet thrive.
As wonderful as it would be to see this world 100% vegan, I live in reality. Reality tells us that's not sustainable for everybody. It's not practical for everybody. It's not economically feasible for everybody. And I've accepted that. I used to think that we can pound it into people's heads that they should be vegan. You can't. You really can't. And I've accepted that, and I'm okay with that. I am so content and happy with people in my life who aren't fully vegan or fully plant-based, but they have made conscious decision to cut back, to decrease, and to make healthier choices when they're able. That's really, really all you can ask. And that isn't even the bare minimum. That's a huge feat for a lot of people. So we need to acknowledge people's efforts. She is trying to drive this idea that the world can be plant-based. It can't. It really can't. She wants the world to be happy and healthy. We all do. But the way she eats is not healthy for a lot of people.
Wow, she has raw salmon and tuna. She literally has raw salmon and tuna here. I cannot believe her parasite risk is incredibly high. She probably is riddled with them at this point, because I have seen her eat this before, but honestly, you are really risking your health. If you get a parasite, I have known a number of people to have them, and you can basically be infested with these little wormies that are not your friends, right? They want to eat your food, they want to hang on your intestinal wall, and they really can ravage your insides and cause all host of issues, host of health issues. This is this is super risky. And the heavy metal pollution that she is actually ingesting as well, the PCBs, the environmental pollutants, that heavy metal, methyl mercury that she's transferring from the fish into her body. This is risking her nervous system health, to name one, right? Sure, when you're a bit younger, you may think, I can eat whatever, but I'm telling you, it will catch up. It will catch up to you. Eating like this is incredibly dangerous, and just leave the sea life in the ocean, honestly.
You also know what's going to catch up? Eating in a distorted way, not having food freedom, being scared of food, being so scared of food that you never eat it, that you never try new things, that you live your life controlled by food. That's going to take a toll on your long-term life and health and happiness. Stephanie went through an amazing mental transformation.
She got some rice there. Okay, of course, the Oreos were going to come in. Look how processed that is. But anyway, she had some rice there. She had minimal veggies, right?
Didn't look like minimal veggies because there was rice, the raw fish, and then loaded and topped with tons of veggies. Are we looking at the same thing here?
It's not a lot of calories that she's eating. She's restricting again. She's in restriction. We'll talk about that in a moment. But red, white, and blue, oh, wow. Wow. That's incredibly scientific, right? That is made in a lab.
I believe the word you are looking for is either processed, artificial, or delicious. It's probably one of those. Maybe all three even, because they can coincide with each other and still be healthy.
That is just lab food, 100%. The body does not recognize this as food.
What? The body doesn't recognize it as food? What does it recognize it as? A pillow? I just looked at a pillow.
Stephanie, you are a cancer researcher, and the amount of fruit that you're having is sad, disturbing, and then you go to this instead? Are you trying to say Oreos, cookies are better than fruit?
She's not saying one is better than the other. She's just saying in this moment and time, I'm choosing to have this. Just because you're choosing to have this doesn't mean this over here is being ostracized and rejected. It's just saying I'm making a choice over here. You don't have to acknowledge all foods when choosing a food. You get what I'm saying? I hope you get what I'm saying.
Still doing this calorie restriction. You can see she's calorie restricting. She'll have a couple of these and that'll be it.
Would it be better if she ate the whole package? Then she's not restricting. That kind of is what Freelee hinted at just now. She's restricting because she's only going to have a couple of these. It's better to binge, apparently, but then if you binge, that's a problem because you're eating Oreos. But if you eat a massive amount of fruit, that is not a binge.
Okay, so she's still in the calorie restriction mode.
How? Where? How did you come to that conclusion? How is that the conclusion that you got to? Walk me through the thought process. Please. I do not get it. I don't understand. Like, I'm truly baffled by her thought process because I'm not following. I don't even think we're on the same path at this point.
You know, she's having her like restrictive breakfast. She measures it out, puts her protein powder thinking that she needs all this protein.
Are we watching the same video? Because she used the scoop, that's measuring it out? Was there a scale? Let's go back. Let's see this.
Calorie restriction mode. All right, like, you know, she's having her like restrictive breakfast. She measures it out, puts it.
No, not a scale. Everything was just poured. Again, so confused.
But it's just adding to her cancer risk. And then she's having the animal protein, the IGF-1, rapidly multiplying those cancer cells in the body.
So now Freelee can tell you if you have cancer cells or not.
And then she's having a methylmercury and the parasites. And then she's having this chemical synthesized cookies in a lab. You can see this is an unhealthy diet.
But we know why she says it's unhealthy. It's because it wasn't all fruit.
Sure, you can see some plants in there, some carbohydrates, some oats, and, you know, wartime stuff like the bread and the oats. Okay, it's going to give you some, oh, it's good she got some potatoes, right? It's going to give you some carbohydrates, but it's incredibly hard to process. So this is not a diet that I recommend. It is a cancer-causing diet.
That's like saying that you're gonna get cancer. You're literally fear-mongering. You're literally trying to scare people into believing you. Now I'm upset. I think Stephanie Buttermore is one of the most inspirational YouTubers to date, and I think a lot more men and women should look up to her and watch her stuff. She never claims to be perfect. She never says, do what I do. She's just showing what she's doing to have a healthy relationship with food and with herself and just living a happy, free life. And then you have Freelee coming in and trying to tell her she's wrong and that she's unhealthy and that she has cancer. Anyway, that is this video. There will be another Stephanie Buttermore Freelee video in the next couple of weeks, so definitely stay tuned for that. After that, I'm going to try and not do Freelee videos for a while and really try to focus on more ED recovery and stuff like that. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you did not enjoy it, you can give it a thumbs down. That is cool too. I don't mind. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing and be sure to hit the notification bell to stay notified of all future uploads. If you have any comments, questions, video suggestions, anything at all, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. Be sure to go follow me over on Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye!